Hello, my name is Nkosazana waga Mashinini. I am an Afro jazz artist. I sing, I write, I perform, and I am also currently recording, working on an EP actually. I'm a co-owner of a restaurant and I have my own apparel. That is uNkosazana is a nutshell.
And then please tell me about your upbringing. Did you have any artists in your family?
My upbringing, no, I did not have any artists in my family, but I did grow up. I was raised by my grandparents actually, and they listened to a lot of jazz music, Lisedi FM to be specific, and that's how I came across the love of jazz and singing.
I've never heard this beat before.
What inspired me to choose music? I think because it came natural to me. Music came natural to me. Music comes to me through my dreams. When I go through something emotional, I always deal with it through song. You know, I think that was the main thing. But overall, I am an artist. I am a painter. I am a cook. I am, just an overall artist. I think there's nothing in this world I cannot do if I put my mind to it. Why did I choose Afro jazz? I think I chose Afro jazz because, like I said in the beginning, that I was raised by my grandparents and they listened to jazz music. But the other side of my family was Abangoma, so I think it's a fusion between my grandparents and my Zulu family being Izangoma. Hence the Afro, it came natural. I would dream about my songs and the jazz. So it was just a fusion that came.
Okay, excellent. And then would you say ubungoma, it works for you creatively?
Yeah, it does. A lot of my songs come through dreams, or if I'm feeling some type of way, if I'm feeling sad, if I'm feeling emotional, how I deal with things I think is different. A song would come to me, and mangicula, when I sing, that's how I will actually get over whatever that is, because I know now it's in the world and it's not only healing me, but it's gonna heal somebody else. What are the challenges I've faced in the music industry as a female musician? I think it would be coming across people who thought that I wasn't smart enough to know what I want to do with my music. I think my biggest frustration would be when I have a song, and I want to record my song a certain way. Like I want to do Afro jazz. Like I say, I'm an Afro jazz artist. I'll come across a man, mhlambe, a producer, who wants to change my sound. And it's been like that ever since I started music, even now. When I go to a producer, they will want to change my sound and make it sound that way. It's either bazoyenza ukuthi ibe housey, noma Afro pop, but nobody ever thinks that a female musician is smart enough to know what they want to sound like. So I think that has been my toughest challenge, even with working with a band, because it's always men. So they always want to change the way you sound. Now they want to make me Beyonce and I'm Busi Mhlongo. So I think that would be my biggest challenge is that people never think a female musician is smart enough to know what they want. Even financially, they never think that we know what we want. They decide for you, you know. Or there's meetings that you are not allowed to be in, like, no, we'll speak on behalf of you, Nkosazana, you know. It's just they never think that you know what you want as a female, or you know what's best for you, rather.
And then how do you deal with being creatively blocked?
How do I deal with being creatively blocked is to, I think I allow myself to go through the blockage, so that I am in a space where I am silent enough to listen to my inner voice, because that's where my music comes from. It comes from inside. I need to feel something in order to write something. You know, I need to sleep, I need to dream in order to have a song. So I allow myself to go through the blockage, and I'll focus on something else. If I have to paint, if I have to cook, if I have to focus on something else until I'm okay, then I'll do that, because I don't want to be at a point where I'm trying so hard to be creative that I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do as an artist. You know, I don't want to find myself doing kwaito because I'm trying so hard to be creative. So I just allow the process. You know, I just woosa myself and I listen to my inner voice, because that's where my music comes from inside.
And then what is your experience with signing with a record label?
What is my experience with signing with a record label? Um, Lessons. I learned that I normally artists don't sign for themselves. It's not about you. Normally, the record label has their own intentions why they signing artists, and that I should have my own intentions as well. You know, if I want to be famous, then if that's what they're giving me, I should be happy with it. But what I've learned is that I should be intentional, you know, with signing, and I shouldn't be, what's the word? I shouldn't be in between. I shouldn't be like a victim. I should know what I want from them, and know when I get it, or know when I don't get it. You know, because they have their own intentions why they signing me. It's either they trying to make money or washing money, because we know it's a thing now that people do. So I need to know what I want from them, so that it's not, so that it's sort of a balanced relationship, basically. So a lesson would be to be intentional. If I'm gonna sign, then I have to have intent. Why am I signing? And I have to know also why are they signing me.
And then do you think getting an advance is a trap for an artist, and why?
Do I think getting advance is a trap for an artist? I think it is a trap. It's a way to lower a person, you know. How do I put it? It's a trap, because what is it? A bait. A bait. When you're trying to catch a fish, you will put something for it to come and catch it. So it's the same thing, basically. And if I don't know any better, then I'll be like a fish and they will catch me and I'll be out of the water and I'll die. It's basically like that. If I don't know why I'm going for in advance, and half of the time that's the case for artists, we don't know why we getting the advance. We don't know what we're gonna do with an advance. They just give us this money and we are trapped and we make loans, and we also get used to a life that is not ours. Mangne advance say yeah 500,000, I'm gonna start living a certain way. Yabo, mhlampe I'll stop using a taxi, and then I have 500,000, and then I misuse all this money, and when it's finished, I'm in a trap. Now I cannot go back to using a taxi because I have this celebrity status from only advance. And then now I start doing loans. I'm a female artist. I start sleeping with men, to keep up with the momentum, to keep up with this advanced life. So I would say it's a trap. If you give me an advance and I don't know what to do with the money, then it's definitely a trap, because I'm just going to be stuck in a life that I don't know, then that I also cannot maintain.
Okay, excellent. And then you spoke about record labels and money laundering. So what did you mean by that? Like how do record labels launder money?
Yeah, I did mention how record labels would launder money through ama artists. It's man, it's a rumor nami I heard, but I know it's something that happens because right now nami I'm an advanced artist. I know better than I did way back then, you know, and I know would see a person will just open a company, a record label, and make it look like it's for artists and have shows and whatever, but it's not about the artist themselves. It's about it's political. I cannot speak more about it, but we all know that it's happening. There's record labels that opened and we don't know where they are now. They were big then. There was a lot of money put in. There was a lot of big artists signed in, but those artists are nowhere to be found now. I know where I was signed, the guy was in a political party and he had a lot of money that he put in, but nothing came out. Musically, artistically, nothing happened. But it all looked big. There were brides, weddings, gigs, but there was nothing from it. So we know something was going on, but we can't really say. But we know that it's happening.
Okay, excellent answer. And then last question, according to you, what should an advance from a record label be used for? How would you use it wisely?
How would I use an advance from a record label? Um, I would use it to advance myself. Um, I would I would use it to be a better artist. I would use it to put myself in a better position musically, um, also in the music business. I would use it to learn how to manage myself other than having a manager or having been signed and having somebody doing these deals for me. I would use it to just know more, about the music industry and about myself as an artist, about myself as a craft, as myself as a company, because I'm not just an artist in J. I'm a whole company. I'm representing me and my millions and my legacy. So I would use it to just know more, basically, to know how much a lawyer is going to cost me in the future if somebody says this, to just be a better version of myself in the music business than just a singer, because that comes, even if ngine-flu ngiyakwazi ukucula, but mangabe imali iyangiphelela, if I don't know how to account for my money, how am I going to do it again? I'm going to find myself elokishini as a struggling artist, and mangabe ngiyashona, they're going to donate for me, like bonke labantu esibaziyo that has had a similar life, like I don't want to find myself as a struggling artist. So if I do have an advance, use it as exactly that. Look up the word and advance. You uplift yourself, you advance yourself, you make yourself better, basically. So I would use it exactly as that. Now, now, just now, because I know better.
Okay, excellent. That's one. Being a creative can be mentally challenging. So, what habits do you have or do you do to keep you mentally grounded?
What habits do I do to keep myself mentally grounded? I I keep up with myself. I exercise, I read, I do yoga, I cook. I love cooking. I watch cooking shows, just sort of to keep myself balanced so that, yeah, I don't compete with the world and it's just me and me alone.
And then, how do you deal with performance anxiety?
How do I deal with performance anxiety is I look back to the biggest places I've ever performed at, and currently it's F&B. So with every place that I perform at, I try to look at my biggest performance, and I try to compare that with the spaces that I'm currently performing at. And if it's not bigger than what I've done, then there's no way I cannot win at what I'm currently doing. So it's looking back at the biggest thing that I've done and just telling myself, for good tea, if I was able to do that, then there's nothing stopping me from doing this.
Excellent. And then, what has been the biggest highlight for your career?
Biggest highlight for my career would be, there's a little story. I was in Durban, and I reside in Gauteng, I reside in Soweto, but I was in Durban, and somebody recognized me from one of my shows and asked for the autograph. And because I'm a fan, there was a bunch of people standing there now asking for the autograph. They didn't know me, but then it was a whole moment, and I think that experience was a highlight for me. It made me realize how big I can be, or how inspirational I can be. In the near future, I can be a Beyonce if I wanted.
Excellent. And then, when people listen to your music, what do you want them to take from your music, or what type of experience do you want them to have when listening to music work?
What do I want people to experience when listening to my music?
Yes.
Realness. My music is real. My music has utando, love for myself and for the next person. My music is forgiving, to myself and for the next person. My music is not selfish. So I think I want people to pick up all of that. It's like when I write a love song, it's not based on that you had me alone and I didn't do anything. I'm real when I write, So I want people to pick that up, because love is a universal language, and I want that to be real. I want to put that out there. But at the same time, I think I love spreading hope through my songs, because a lot of my songs don't even come through me. They come from my ancestors. And I think that's what they want out there, hope that we can actually make it as Black people in the music industry, or as women in the music industry, or as Izangoma in the music industry too.
Excellent. So, what type of legacy do you envision for yourself, Masaushonile, and how would you love to be remembered?
How would I love to be remembered, Maseng Shanili? As an Afro jazz rock star, as the crazy person that I am, honestly, I want people to listen to my songs and think, wow, she was awesome. I want Ingane, who are aspiring to be musicians, to listen to me or to watch my shows and think, I want to be like her, because that's how I started too. So I want my music to have a voice, even when I'm gone. Not just my music only, but uNkosazana nje as a whole. I want ukuthi umuntu makathi uNkosazana did this. I want it to have an impact. I want it to be inspiring. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And then, what advice would you give to your younger self?
What advice would I give to my younger self? I would tell myself, ukuthi, it is okay to be me. It is okay to be shy and also be able to sing. It is okay to be an introvert but be talented, because we are told ukuthi uma introvert kumele ube a certain way. But what if you are an introvert and you can write? So it is okay for you to be yourself and be able to do other things as well. I would tell myself also to believe in my dreams, to believe in my abilities, to believe in my voice, and to believe ukuthi I can be way bigger than where I was raised or the circumstances I grew up in. Because I grew up in White City. And man, siyazi ukuthi White City idume ngezinto wrong, yabo. we know ukuthi mawuphuma white seat kuba ngathi you are doomed, you are cursed, but I was able to make it out of those circumstances and be myself and actually, make a name out of uNkosazana. So just believe in yourself enough to know where you were born or where you were raised is not where you are supposed to end up. You can do better, and actually you can amplify la ubuya khona. You can make a name of yourself. Yeah.
Excellent. So, please tell me a bit about your mentorship program for women.
I have a mentorship program called Capable Women Foundation. And how I started it was because I had a mentor myself. I did not know what a mentor meant or what having an inspiration meant, but it made such a huge impact to have somebody that I could look up to and think, actually, I want to be like this lady. Like when I grow up, I want to look like her, or I want to sound like her and walk like her. It meant a lot. And I wanted to build a platform where there's a lot of us that are like me. Now I feel like I've made it in a way, So I wanted a platform where there's women like me who want to inspire the youth. As you could see, Kona, 2 young women that just passed right now, and they call me, hello, Auntie Nkosazana, or now and then, and it's nice and fun. But I love that because I want them to see me and think I want to be like her one day. Like I want to be confident. I want to be able to sing for thousands of people. I want to engage. I want to talk to people. So that's how I came about a Capable Women Foundation. I mean, capable means you can do it. And like I said, there's nothing that I cannot do in this world if I don't put my mind to it.
All right. And then, what's next for uNkosazana, Mashinini, the Afro Jazz Rockstar?
What is next for uNkosazana Mashinini, Afro Jazz Rockstar? It's actually quite exciting this year. I'll be releasing my EP. I've got 2 songs already on SoundCloud. You can listen to them, but they're not already out. So I'll be releasing my EP in April. And then I'll be launching my apparel. I've got apparel. Impahla zaka Nkosazana. The brand is called Sawubona Nkosazana. And I love that so much because of the meaning behind Sawubona Nkosazana. I feel like when women always want validation, and when a man says to you, shosho, yin mapebeza or something like that, it's something else. But when a man says to you, Sawubona Nkosazana, it has a sense of respect, So hence my label is Sawubona Nkosazana. It's my name, but then it's not about me. It's about just being queens and celebrating the fact that we are queens. Sawubona Nkosazana, and I'm passing by and a person says Sawubona Nkosazana, without thinking, I already feel like, wow, actually you recognize me as a queen, hence the apparel. So I'll also be launching my apparel store, Sawubona Nkosazana. And like I mentioned, I think earlier, I'll also be opening up my kitchen. Like I said, there's a restaurant that I'm working on next door, cafe, here. So we'll also be reopening our kitchen sometime next month, maybe. We'll also be reopening our kitchen and we'll be operating. So amazing things are in the pipeline.
Okay, wonderful. And then, any words you'd like to say to your team and the people who've supported you?
My team, any words I'd like to say to my team and people who've supported me, I would like to say thank you for your support and thank you for recognizing my talent and thank you for always reminding me that I'm greater than what I'm supposed to be. Because sometimes you give up as a person. Sometimes we are pancha kancane, but you need that, extra push. And if there's somebody in your life that gives you that, it's always very great because we can't do it alone. So now my team is not very big. It's not very broad. My team is just one person. But yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to that person. But also thank you to Canoa for this interview. Thank you to Tshidiso for making it happen. He doesn't want to be known, but thank him very much. Thank you for Neo for not sending me the questions for this interview. But yeah, my prayer is always that. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the best you can do. I believe that my team are my gods. So ngiyabonga for everybody that keeps uNkosazana alive, because uNkosazana is nothing without the people around her.
Okay, and then last question, where can people find your music? Where can they find the Sawubona Nkosazana apparel? And where can they access your mentorship program?
Where can people find uNkosazana, basically?
Yes.
On social media, I go by uNkosazana Live. That is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I-apparel nomculo, you can find it there. And my mentorship program, you just search Capable Women Foundation. It hasn't been active, for quite a while, but I think we'll start having some activities going on there. Yeah, so Nkosazana Live, Capable Women Foundation, and most importantly, for i-apparel and the food lifestyle cafe next door, and also the Soweto Barnyard. Yes.